December 28th, quarterback Dwayne Haskins was released from the Washington football team due to a multitude of reasons. Poor play from him, poor play from this offense, and poor play management led to the downfall of the second-year prospect. But does Dwayne Haskins deserve a second shot with another organization? By the end of this video, we will answer that question. Before we jump into Dwayne Haskins' future though, let's take a look at how we got here. Dwayne Haskins Jr. attended Bullis High School from 2013 to 2016, where he passed for 5,308 yards and 54 touchdowns. He was a four-star recruit who had 37 college offers and several offers from highly regarded schools, such as Ohio State, Florida, Alabama, Clemson, and many more. He was described as a pro-style quarterback with high ball delivery, high accuracy, high intangibles, high pocket presence, and fast reaction time. He was clearly a successful high school quarterback, being ranked 5th in the nation among his position. He initially committed to Maryland, but he ended up making his final decision to commit to Ohio State. Dwayne Haskins redshirted his freshman year in 2016. In 2017, he backed up starter JT Barrett and ended up finishing the season completing 40 passes on 57 attempts for 565 yards and 4 touchdowns. The following season in 2018 is when Haskins really peaked as a football player, as he had a record-setting season. He set school records in a single season for passing yards, completions, completion percentage, touchdown passes, passing yards per game, and many, many more. He is one of 6 NCAA quarterbacks to ever throw 50 touchdowns in a single season, and his records for passing yards and touchdowns are Big Ten records. His performance in the 2018 season earned him the honor of being a semifinalist for the Heisman Trophy, and ended up 3rd in voting. The following January, after the college season, Haskins announced he would be foregoing his remaining 2 years of eligibility and entering the 2019 NFL Draft. In April of 2019, Haskins was drafted in the first round to the Washington football team with the 15th selection. Haskins didn't see his first action in the NFL until Week 4 against the New York Giants. He came in to relieve Case Keenum for his poor performance. Haskins didn't fare much better though. He threw for 107 yards and 3 interceptions en route to losing 24-3. He finally made his first start in the NFL against the Buffalo Bills, but he performed poorly once again, passing for 144 yards and losing 24-9. Haskins would continue to start for the Washington football team until Week 16, where Haskins would go down with an ankle injury that would keep him out of the final game of the 2019 season. Haskins would end up going 2-5 as a starter and throwing 1,365 yards, 7 touchdowns, and 7 interceptions in his rookie year. Dwayne Haskins was named the starter prior to the start of the 2020 season and even earned team captain honors. Haskins would start the first 4 games of the season going 1-3 and eventually being benched in Week 5 against the Rams in favor of Alex Smith. Coaches were noted as saying they were unimpressed by his performance and his work ethic in the 2020 season. He would continue to be the team's backup and third-string quarterback until Week 14, where he would be starting in place of an injured Alex Smith. Haskins continued to be the starter until Week 16, where he would throw 14-24 for 154 yards and 2 interceptions. This was his last game as a member of the Washington football team and was released the very next day. Haskins would end his tenure in Washington with 2,804 yards, 12 touchdowns, and 14 interceptions. Now that we're all caught up, where does the blame fall? A great deal of blame for his downfall falls on him, but not all of it does. This mess of an organization is also to blame. He was put into a situation where he was expected to be the face of a franchise and immediately thrust this team into playoff contention like RG3 did before. Being drafted to a hometown team doesn't help you either. It puts immense pressure on you, and if you don't get the help you need around you, you could be thrown to the wolves and pegged as a failure like Haskins was. In 2018, before Haskins arrived, the football team was ranked 6th worst in the league, 4th worst in offense, 4th worst in passing, 12th worst in pass blocking, 4th worst in receiving corps, 16th worst in the run, 9th worst in run blocking, and to top it all off, they had a mediocre defense at best in 2018. So Haskins would literally have to put the entire team on his back to win games, and there are very few people who could do that in NFL history. But Haskins' play wasn't the only issue with him, and it certainly wasn't the only reason he was let go. In the NFL, you can still survive as a backup, or if you're young like Haskins is, then you could be a starter because of the potential to grow. Look at Daniel Jones, a mediocre quarterback with turnover issues and accuracy issues just like Haskins. But the big difference here is Daniel Jones has stayed out of the off-the-field problems. Recently, Haskins hasn't been able to keep out of them with the 2 incidents in 2020. And when you aren't playing very well and you have problems off the field, that's a recipe for disaster. He has been caught violating the NFL's COVID policies, and recently an incident landed him a $40,000 fine, and on top of that, he has his role of captain revoked. So is Dwayne Haskins worth it? Is he worth giving the second chance to? I think this one's a no-brainer for me, and hopefully everyone else watching this video. And yes, easily. Just the surface of things makes him worth bringing in. At the end of the day, he's a 23-year-old second-year quarterback. There hasn't been enough tape on Haskins to say he's not a good quarterback in the NFL. He hasn't had the chance to grow as a quarterback because he has only started 13 games in his very young career. His biggest issue right now is off-the-field problems, which are potentially very easy to correct after the 2020 season, depending on how COVID goes. The worst thing you can get out of signing Dwayne Haskins is a young backup quarterback eager to learn and grow at his position. He definitely deserves a second chance with an organization who will take care of him and surround him with the pieces he needs to be successful in the NFL. What do you guys think? Do you think he deserves a second chance? Let me know if you want an in-depth film breakdown on Dwayne Haskins and his plays. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. If you enjoyed the video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up, and if you want to see more content like this, hit the subscribe button. And I know this is a shorter video than usual, but I appreciate you guys sticking around anyways. This is NFL Empire. Peace.